Hey guys, off the mic sports network here, off the top rope. Revolution is coming up on Sunday. I did a live stream with some spotty internet connection. I apologize for that. I gotta tell you guys, man, look, I I try to root for AEW, despite sometimes their fans just annoy me, and Tony Khan, I think, just doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Um, but one narrative that's been spun by a couple people on this app and a couple people across social media and also here on YouTube is that the John Cena heel turn and the industry shaking moment that it was has kind of, overshadowed a lot of things in the wrestling business. Most notably, Revolution. AEW's got a pay per view on Sunday in Los Angeles, one of the top media markets in the world, in one of the biggest arenas in the world, in Crypto.com Arena, where the Lakers are playing some of their best basketball of the entire year. LeBron's here. This is Hollywood, man. Like WrestleMania was here 2 years ago. And this is, AEW's first trip to Crypto.com Arena. They had done their shows at the Forum. So I was thinking about this. It is not a far-fetched or hot take to say that there's no buzz around this pay-per-view. You could say there's bangers on it, but there's no buzz around it. None. None. Wait, were y'all going to get hyped up about Adam Copeland versus John Moxley? Two ex-WWE guys? The one match that I am hyped up about is Hangman Adam Page versus MJF. Everything else is a rematch. Everything else is something we have seen before. I am excited to see Toni Storm versus Mariah May in what is going to probably end their year-long feud, or that is their year-long arc, or whatever you want to talk about that's lasted that long. But there is no buzz behind this show. And some of that has to do with AEW and their poor storytelling and their poor character work. Some of it is also WWE is just so much cooler than them right now. So much cooler than them. John Cena just turned heel. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble when nobody thought he would. Io Sky just beat Rhea Ripley less than 2 months ahead of WrestleMania when Rhea Ripley just won the championship. Like, AEW has fallen significantly behind in the coolness factor. So much so that you want to talk about selling your soul. They sold their soul. Tony Khan sold his soul to the Costco guys and said, "Hey, go promote my show." And a lot of the AEW talent was also at Queen of the Ring. They're not even promoting one of the key stars in that, and that's Camille. So it's just like there's a lot of optics issues with AEW. And one thing that, consistently bothers me, if you've paid attention to this channel, is I get bothered when AEW fanboys and geeks, like, listen, if you like this crap and you're okay with it and you're about wrestling, there's good wrestling in AEW. Like the day-to-day, like in terms of characters, it's not that great. If it's for you, God bless you. But what bothers me is when people try to tell me and lecture me about my personal opinion about, okay, you're at 10,000 tickets in what could be at least 15 to 18,000 people could fit into Crypto.com Arena, and you're calling that a win. You're calling that a win. Guys, you're in Los Angeles, okay? WWE 2 years ago filled that building up on 3 separate occasions, I think. Well, I mean, I don't know about Stand and Deliver, but at least 2 separate occasions for Raw and SmackDown filled that building up. At least 15,000 people were in that building 2 years ago. Some people will be like, "Oh, it's a 5-year starter upcoming." Guys, why are we I guess we're moving the goalpost here. Why are we moving the goalpost? This company 3 years ago was white hot and had 15,000 people in the Forum. Like, it almost filled the Forum to capacity. And they had to shrink down the stage so much that they were going to put people all over the building. They had a significantly reduced stage. So you mean to tell me that here we are 3 years later, almost to the day, that was the famed MJF, his pipe bomb promo, which when CM Punk was still there, and we all know how that turned out. But 3 years later, you're in a bigger building, you're in a bigger venue, and you're celebrating 10,000 tickets being sold. Also, everybody, it's going to be the second highest selling Revolution ever. It's like, guys, AEW does good on pay-per-view. They should be doing better. Also, the other Revolutions that have happened, one of them happened during COVID. So that was in Jacksonville. They were in smaller arenas. I think one of them was in Orlando, and then another one of them was the first one was in Chicago. And then obviously, 2023, I think I forgot where it was. It might have been in Newark or something, or New Jersey. The point is, they were in smaller venues. And then last year was a really unique circumstance where they went to the Greensboro Coliseum, which is the biggest venue in North America, can seat for like a traditional event, like almost 20,000 people. And they got 16,000 people in that place because it was Sting's retirement. Okay. So these things are not created equal. And I get tired of people just trying to lecture me and tell me that AEW is doing okay. Like, listen, if you want to talk to me about like, the content stuff and I don't like it and you do, that's totally fine. It's not for everybody. A lot of what they've done is not for me. And I'm not invested in it because like I need like story, or I need a character. I need something to hook me in some of these great matches that they're having. Like, I don't dismiss, they have one of the best rosters in the world. They do. But you're going into your first pay-per-view of the year. You haven't had a pay-per-view event since December, and your first really premium live event or your pay-per-view turned into a glorified Collision, and it was a disaster. And now here we are. There's no buzz around this show. There's no buzz. The world title match, everybody hates the Death Riders. You've got the women's division. Like, Mercedes is going to beat Momo, and it's not going to mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Maybe we start the Athena program there, which would be cool. But like I said, there's not a lot of intrigue on this show. It's a lot of predictability. And whereas you saw WWE with Elimination Chamber, they created moment after moment after moment on that Elimination Chamber show. It's why I say that's one of the best PLEs WWE has ever done. It's easily the best one that Triple H has ever done from top to bottom, because you had Jade attacking Naomi before the women's chamber started. You have Naomi, you had Bianca Belair winning. You had Liv Morgan's insane performance with the hair whip and taking all her bumps and bruises, which was unbelievable. Trish Stratus wrestling in Toronto again on your 25th year anniversary in front of her children, and Tiffany Stratton getting a big win to sort of validate her way on the road to WrestleMania. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had a glorified AEW ROH match on WWE soil, killed each other pretty much for 15 minutes, and just were in such like they literally put their bodies all over the place and sacrificed them for a lot. And I hope, and for them, it was probably worth it. For us, it's like, oh my God, it's just for our sickness and our entertainment. But they have an amazing match. Great men's chamber, loaded with talent. We get to see Cena and we get to see Cena and Punk lock up again, almost 15 years to the day from their epic feud. And then the moment at the end with Cody saying, "Go fuck yourself," followed by literally 60 seconds later, John Cena going low and turning heel and selling his soul. That all happened in one night. That is a good month or 2 months. That all happened in one night. And I know AEW fans' argument will be, well, we jab 9 matches on. Guys, they also don't let it breathe, and none of these matches mean anything. Like, there is no juice and there's no buzz behind this show. And it's Los Angeles. Like, I love Adam Copeland as much as the next guy, and he's been very fun to see him continue his career. Nobody cares about Jon Moxley. Nobody cares about this world title match. A lot of people already think they know the conclusion of this, which is Jay White is going to turn heel, which would not be surprising at all. Like, genuinely, the one match that really is of interest is MJF Hangman Adam Page. Outside of that, like, all due respect to Fletcher and Ospreay and Ricochet and Swerve, like, and you'll get to see the Outrunners in a tag team match, and like, there will be good work on this show, but it's hard to get me to care and pay $50. And that's the biggest thing, especially when you're on a pay-per-view model and you're making this new partnership with Amazon Prime to carry your shows. You got to give people a reason to care. And there's really not a whole hell of a lot to care about on this show. So overall, like that's just my take on it. Listen, like, if you like this content, and like I said, I am all for people and I love wrestling, and there's been good wrestling. But when you start throwing dudes with a bunch of cool action, you throw them into an 8-man tag that just gets you to paper, that's lazy to me. Like, you got, like, Cena and Cody may not be like the best bell to bell wrestling match ever. But the crowd's going to be invested. Like a lot of the stuff and like, just the basics of storytelling are going to mean something because of this heel turn that happened and this new element of surprise that has gone on in WWE. We just don't know. And it's cool if you can do moves, but what do they mean in the end? And that's the biggest issue with AEW. So thank you so much for watching this video. We'll have a lot more. I'm debating whether or not to go live after SmackDown tonight. As SmackDown on USA, Cody Rhodes is supposed to talk. It seems like Bianca Belair is going to be searching for answers from Jade Cargill. It should be an eventful night. I believe they are in Philadelphia, the site of WrestleMania 40. So that'll be very interesting to start this build with the Cody Rhodes element going to the scene of where he won the WWE Championship almost a calendar year ago. So anyway, get at me in the comments. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like on this video. Also, go on Twitter, off the mic 28, OT Mike Sports. That's up there in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.